Good evening, students. So this is our second paper class. The last week also we did 15 questions, right? So today also we are continuing to do some part 1 questions. So I will send the question in the WhatsApp group. So no need to write down the question. You can find the answer quickly because I will give 30 seconds or 1 minute. Within that time, you have to write your answer. Then only I can discuss the answer, right? Okay, then we will start our session. Here, this is the first one. Fill in the blanks using greater than or less than 0-5. The second one is -10-9. So you have to fill that blanks by using the symbols greater than or less than. The first one 0-5. Second one -10-9. Right? So here 0 and 5 are there. So now we have to consider and we have to compare those two numbers 0 and 5. So we know that 5 is the greater one, right? So here 0 is the smaller one comparing to 5. So we have to write the symbol less than, because 0 less than 5, right? Because 5 is the greater one. So we have to write the symbol less than. Here's second question, -10-9. Here now you have to think the number line. Here when you are moving from left to right, the value will increase, right? So we can, by using that number line, we can compare these two numbers. So we can find which is greater one. We know that -9. That means -9 is the greater one. So here -1 is the smaller one. So here also we have to write the symbol less than. Because -10 less than -9. -9 is the greater one. Right? So answer for the first one, here 0 less than 5, and the second one, -10 less than -9. Then question number 2, simplify 1/4 plus 1/6. Here you have to add these two fractions, right? When you are adding two fractions, you have to consider about the denominators. Because if the denominators are equal, then directly we can add. But in these two fractions, the denominators are different. So you have to get a common denominator. So how can we get that common denominator? Have you all finished? So here you have to add two fractions, 1/4 and 1/6. The denominators are different. So you have to get the common denominator. Right? So, right. Here, how can we get the common denominator? Here, 4 and 6. Right? Here, in this two number, 6 is the greater one. Right? 6 is the greater one. So, first we have to take the first multiple of that 6. Here 6 times 1 is equal to 6, or 1 times 6 is equal to 6. Here this 6 can't be divided by 4. So then we have to take the second multiple of 6, that is 12. Here this 12 can be divided by 4 and 6, right? So we have to get the common denominator. How can we get the common denominator? What is that common denominator? We have to get a number. That number should be divided by these both denominator. So you have to get the number. That should be a least value. So the 4 and 6, the common denominator is 12. So here the fraction is 1 over 4. Then we have to make this denominator as 12. So here 4 is there, so we have to multiply by 3, the both numerator and the denominator. Here 1 over 6, the denominator is 6. So if you want to get the denominator as 12, then we have to multiply by 2, the both numerator and the denominator. Then 1 times 3 is equal to 3, 4 times 3 is equal to 12. Here 1 times 2 is equal to 2, 6 times 2 is equal to 12. Here now the denominators are equal. Now we can add these two numerators. Then 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Then 5 over 12 is the answer. So when you are adding or subtracting, you have to consider about the denominator, because if the denominators are equal, then directly we can add or subtract. But if the denominators are not equal, then we have to get the common denominator. Then after that, we have to write an equivalent fraction. Then only we can add these two fractions, right? Then question number 3. Write the number represented on the abacus given. Here I didn't mark, I forgot to mark the place value. Here I will mark it. 10, 1, 1 over 10, 1 over 100. Right? Here these are the place values. 10, 1, 1 over 10, 1 over 100. That means ones, tens, hundreds. So these are the place values. So you have to write the number. Write the number represented on the abacus given. Right, here there is only 1 10, then 1, 2 ones, then 12. Point, because here the place value is tens, hundreds. Here this is 0.1. No, if we write in decimal, this is 0.01. You have learned in grade 6 the decimal, right? So here 12.43. When you are reading this decimal number, you have to read 12.43, not 43, right? So then the number is 12.43. Here the place value of 1 is tens, place value of 2 is ones, place value of 4 is tens, that means 1 over tens. Then place value of 3 is hundreds, then 1 over 100. So then the number is 12.43. Now question number 4. The length of a certain river to the nearest 10 is 330 kilometers. The length of the river, right? The length of a river, certain river to the nearest 10 is 330 kilometers. Write the maximum and minimum whole number values that can be have an actual length. So after rounding off that number to the nearest 10, that is 330. Now you have to find what are the suitable numbers. Suitable numbers we can write. Then you have to select the minimum value and the maximum value. Here the length of a certain river to the nearest 10 is 330 kilometers. Write the maximum and minimum whole number values that can be have an actual length. Did you finish it? Right, okay. Here, 330 kilometers. After rounding off to the nearest 10, that answer is 330 kilometers. Now we have to find the minimum value and the maximum value that length can be taken. Right? So here 325. If it is 325, when you are rounding off to nearest 10, we can write as 330. Or 326. Here 325, 326, 327, 328, 329 and 330 already is there. Then 331, 332, 333 and 334. We can't write the value as 335 because if it is 335, if you round to that number to the nearest 10, then we have to write as 340, isn't it? So here, after rounding off to the nearest 10, we got the answer as 330. That is the length of a certain river. So here they are asking the maximum and minimum value. So here this is the least value. Here this is the maximum value. Here write the maximum and minimum whole number values that can be have an actual length. So minimum length, right? Minimum length can be 325 kilometers and the maximum length can be 334 kilometers. Because if it is 324, if we round off this 324 to the nearest 10, then we will write that 330. So here, this is the least value. From 325, when you are rounding off to the nearest 10, we can write as 330. So 325 is the least value. Here, then 332, 333, up to 334 we can write. Because if we write 335, then if we round to that number to the nearest 10, then we have to write as 340. So 325 is the minimum length and 335 kilometers is the maximum length. Then the answer is 325 kilometers and 334 kilometers. Right? Then question number 5. Choose and write the prime numbers and composite numbers out of the numbers in the box. Already you have learned what is prime number and what is composite number. Now you have to select, you have to choose the what is for an example for the prime numbers and the composite number. Here choose and write the prime numbers and composite numbers out of the numbers in the box. Here they have given 8 numbers. Now you have to choose which are prime numbers, which are composite numbers. Right? So you have to choose the numbers from that box. Prime numbers and composite numbers. Have you all finished? Right, okay. Here, what is prime number? First, we have to know about prime number. Then we will know about the composite number. Already you have learned, but I will recall that knowledge of prime numbers and composite number. Here, if a number can be divided without remainder by 1 and itself, that means if a number is divisible by 1 and itself, then that number is a prime number. In other way also we can express, we can define the prime number. A prime number should have only two factors, right? Prime numbers should have only two factors. And composite number should have more than two factors. That is the difference between the prime numbers and composite number, right? Here, prime numbers have only two factors. The composite number has more than two factors. Now, first you have to consider about the factors of these numbers. Then you can find the prime numbers and composite number. Here 6. So what are the factors that 6 has? Here 1, 2, 3, 6. So here this 6 has more than two factors, then this is composite number. Here 11. Here 11, 1 and 11, because we can divide this 11 only 1 and 11. So these two are the factors of 11. So here this 11 has only two factors, then this is prime number. Then 23. Here 23 also has only two factors, 1 and 23. So 23 also prime numbers. 8. Here we can divide this 8 by 1, 2, 4 and 8. So 8 has more than two factors. So this is composite number. Then 9. Here we can divide this 9 by 1, 3 and 9. So 9 has more than two factors. So 9 also composite numbers. 17. Here only we can divide this 17 by 1 and 17. So it has only two factors. Then 17 is a prime number. Then 4. Here 4 can be divided by 1, 2, 4. So it has more than two factors. So then this is composite number. And 2. Here 2 can divide by 1 and 2. Then this is prime number. So we have to select the prime numbers and the composite numbers from the given numbers, right? So we should know what is prime number and what is composite number. If a number have only two factors, then that is prime number. Or if a number has more than two factors, then that is composite number, right? Then question number 6. Write the shaded portion as a fraction of a whole figure. So this is already you have learned in grade 4, 5, right? Then you have to write an equivalent fraction for 4/11. Write the shaded portion as a fraction of a whole figure. Right, so first you have to divide into equal parts, right? Then only you can write as a fraction. So first you have to divide into equal parts. Write the shaded portion as a fraction of a whole figure. Right? Have you all finished? First you have to divide this figure into equal parts. Then you can write as a fraction. Then after that, in the second one, you have to write an equivalent fraction for this 4/11. Right here, this is the triangle. Here we have divided into two pieces, right? Here this square is divided into two equal pieces. So here we have to, here we have to divide these squares into equal parts. Here we can divide into equal parts. Right? Then how many equal parts are there? Here we have to find the total number of parts. There are 8 parts. Here we have colored 3 equal parts. Then the fraction is 3/8 or 3/8. Now we have to write an equivalent fraction for 4/11. So how can we write an equivalent fraction for a fraction? You can multiply this numerator and the denominator by a number, or you can divide this numerator by a numerator and the denominator by a number. Right? So here first we have to find the common factor of this 4 and 11. Then only we can divide. Here there is no any common factor. Only one is the common factor for 1, 4 and 11. So we can't divide by 1. If we divide this 4/11 by 1, then the same answer we will get, right? So we have to multiply this numerator and the denominator by a number. So you can multiply by 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. You can multiply by any whole number, right? Here we will multiply by a 2. Then 4 times 2 is equal to 8. Then 11 times 2 is equal to 22. Then the answer is 8/22. Then question number 7. Cost of an exercise book is ₹32. Find the cost of 8 books. Here they have given a price, cost of a book. Cost of an exercise book is 32. Right? Now we have to find the cost of 8 books. The cost means price. So price of a book is 32. Then what is the price of 8 books? Finished? Okay. Right. Here the one book is 32 rupees. Rupees 32. Now we have to find the price of 8 books. We have to find the price or cost of 8 books. Then we have to multiply 32 by 8. Because the one price of a book is 32. Then we have to find the price of 8 books now. So we have to multiply by 8. Then 8 times 2, 16, balance 1, 24 plus 1, 25. Then the answer is rupees 256. Right? Then the price of 8 books is rupees 256. Question number 8. Write the number 1.02, 0.75, 1.2 and 0.8 in ascending order. So if you want to write in ascending orders, you have to arrange in big, small to big. So first you have to write the smallest value. So first you have to compare these 4 decimals. Then you can arrange in ascending order. Here they have given 4 numbers, 1.02 and 0.75 and 1.2 and 0.8. So you have to arrange these numbers in ascending order. Okay, right. Here, the first number behind the decimal point or after the decimal point, there are 2 digits. In the second number also, there are 2 digits. But in the third and fourth, that after the decimal point, there is only 1 digit. So first we will add 0. Why we are adding? Because we are going to compare. Here in these 4 decimal numbers, after that decimal point, there are 2 digits. Now we can think this number, we can assume that number as 102, 75, 120, 80. Here, without this decimal point, what are the numbers is this? So 102, 75, 120, and 80. Now we can arrange in ascending order. So which is the smallest one? 75 is the smallest one. So first we have to write 0.75. Here without decimal point, this is 80. So next we have to write 0.8 because in the question they have given 0.8 no. So we have to write 0.8, right? Then 75, 80, the next one is 102. So we have to write that number as 1.02. Then the next one is 120. So 1.2 because in the question they have given 1.2 no. So when you are writing the answer, we have to write 1.2. So here we have arranged this number to small to big. That means in ascending order. So then the answer is 0.75, 0.8, right? 0.8, then 1.02 and 1.2. Then question number 9. Write the time 12 noon in International Standard Form. So you have to write this 12 noon in standard form. You know how to write this number in standard form. Here, when you are writing a time in standard form, normally we are using 4 digits. Sometimes we can use 6 digits also because when you are writing the seconds, then you can use 6 digits. Here we have to use hours and minutes, so we can use 4 digits. Here 12 noon, so it is not going to change. Then we have to write 12 0000, right? 12 noon, then 12 0000. Then question number 10. The perimeter of a square is 64 centimeter. Perimeter of a square is 64 centimeter. Find the length of a side. You know that you have already learned in grade 5 what is perimeter. Here they have given a perimeter of a square. So first I will draw a square. This is the square, right? So now you have to find the one side length. Here the perimeter is 64 centimeter. Then we have to find the length of a side. Here there are 4 sides. Here sum of these 4 sides is 64. So that is perimeter. If you want to find the one side length, then we have to divide this 64 by 4. Then 64 divided by 4, that is equal to 16 centimeter. Here we can divide 64 divided by 4. In 6 there is 1 4, then 2 remainder. Now we have to bring down this 4. Then in 24 there are 6 4s. Then remainder 0. Then the answer is 16 centimeter. Then question number 11. Fill in the blanks 1, 4, 9, 16, dash, 49. Here first you have to identify the types of number. What is the type of these numbers? 1, 4, 9, 16, 49. Here there are 2 blanks, so you have to fill that blanks. Here these all numbers are square numbers, isn't it? Because here 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Here 2 times 2 is equal to 4. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. And 4 times 4 is equal to 16. Here they have given first 4 square numbers. So then we have to find the fifth and sixth square number. So if you want to find the fifth square number, then we have to multiply 5 by 5, that is 25. Then sixth square number is 6 times 6 is equal to 36. Here they have given the seventh square number, 7 times 7 is equal to 49. So in these two blanks, we have to write 25 and 36. This 25 is the fifth square number, 36 is the sixth square number. Question number 12. The unit place of the number 653. 653 dash, there is a blank, was erased, right? The unit place of the number 653 dash, this is dash, was erased. What is the largest digit can be written to become an odd number? Right? So here we have to find the answer for the first one. And second one, what is the smallest digit can be written to become an even number? So here, sir, please go slowly for me. Difficult to write. Okay, here you no need to write down the question, right? So I will send this question in the group. So don't waste the time to write the question. Only you have to write the answer. Okay. Right. What is the largest digit can be written to become an odd number? Here we know that what is odd number. So how can we identify the odd number? If a number, when we are dividing a number by 2, if we got the remainder 1, then we can call that number as odd number. Right? Then what is even number? If a number is divided by 2, then if we have to get the remainder as 0. So that is even number. So even number is divisible by 2. So when we are dividing a number by 2, when we are dividing an even number by 2, then we are not going to get any remainder. Only we will get the remainder as 0. So how can we identify the odd numbers? If the last digit of a number is 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, then we can identify that number is an odd number. If a last digit of any number, it can be 2-digit or 3-digit, 5-digit number, whatever it is, only we have to consider about the last digit of that number. If a last digit of a number is 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, then we can say that number is an odd number. Like that, we can identify the even number also. If the last digit of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8, then we can say that number is an even number. Right? So no need to divide by 2. Then after that we have to check the remainder. Nothing to do. Directly we can identify the odd numbers and even numbers by considering only the last digit. If the last digit is 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, then we can say that is odd number. If the last digit of a number is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then we can say that is an even number. Here the question is the unit place of the number, that means that last digit of that number 6530 dash was erased. Now we have to fill that blank. What is the largest digit can be written to become an odd number? So what is the largest digit? So here we know that if the last digit of that number is 13579, then we can go that is odd number. So what is the largest digit can be written? this 9 can be written. So if we write that 6539, then 6539 is the highest odd number. Because if we write 6531, 6533, 6535, 6537, so and also we can write 6539. So here the question is, what is the largest digit? So we have to write in that blank 9. And the second question is, so can we write only 9? Yeah, you have to write only 9, right? What is the smallest digit can be written to become an odd even number? What is the smallest digit? Here, if the last digit of that number 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then that number will be an even number. Here, what is the smallest digit we have to write in this blank? So 653, what is the smallest digit? Here we have to write the digit 0. So we have to write 0. Then what is the largest digit? That is 9. What is the smallest digit? That is 0. Then question number 13. Select the smallest fraction from the following pair of fraction and circle it. Now you have to select the smallest fraction. Then you have to circle it. If the numerator equal, then directly we can compare. Or if the denominator is equal, then directly we can compare. But in these two fractions, the numerators are different and also denominators are different. So now you have to get a common denominator, then only you can compare these two fractions. Yeah, here someone is asking, 0 has no value, no sir, then how it comes 0 even number? I didn't say 0 is an even number. Here, if a number should be an even number, we have to write the last digit should be 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. Here I am not saying that the last digit should be an even number. The last digit should be 0 or 2 or 4 or 6 or 8. Right? So we can write the 0. The next one, here you have to select the smallest fraction from the following pair of fraction and circle it. Here there are two fractions, 2 over 10 and 3 over 5. Now we have to compare. So we have to get the common denominator. Already we have learned that how to get a common denominator. Here 10 and 5s are there. 10 and 5 are common denominators. So this is the largest value. Then the first multiple of 10 is equal to 10. So here we can divide this 10 by 10 and 5. So 10 can be a common denominator for this 5 and 10. Here in this fraction already the denominator is 10. So here you have to make this denominator as 10. So you have to multiply by 2 both numerator and the denominator. Then this is 2 over 10. This is 6 over 10. Right here the denominators are equal. Here the numerator is 2, here numerator is 6. So this is the greatest one, no? Because 6 is greater than 2. So this is the greatest fraction. So here the question is, select the smallest fraction. So we have to circle it 2 over 10, right? Here 2 over 10 and 6 over 10. If we compare these two fractions, the denominators are same, but the 2 less than 6. So we have to circle that fraction 2/5. Then question number 14. An event telecasted on a television program at evening 5 hours 30 minutes and continue for 45 minutes. Write the time that event was finished in standard form. Yeah, that means evening 5:30, no? And even telecasted on a television program at evening 5 hours 30 minutes means evening 5:30. And continue for 45 minutes. That means that duration of that program is event is 45 minutes. Now we have to write the event, write the time the event was finished in standard form. Right, now we have to find the finishing time. Here the event is starting at 5:30, right? Hours, minutes, 5:30. The duration is 45 minutes. So we have to add 45. Here 30 plus 45, that is 75. Then 30 plus 45 is 75. Then 75 minutes we can write as 1 minute 15 seconds. Sorry, 1 hours 15 minutes. Because this is in minutes and hours, no. Here 30 plus 45, 75 minutes. Then 75 minutes is equal to 1 hour 15 minutes. So here we can write 15. Here we can add this 1 with that 5, then 6. Then 6:15 p.m. But we have to write that answer in the standard form, isn't it? So we have to write as 18:15. Because this is p.m., not a.m. Some are sending the answer as 0:15. No, 06:15. No, that is wrong. Here this is evening, so we have to write the answer as 18:15, right? Because that 12 passed, noon passed. So 18:15. Then question number 15. Write all the factors of 32. So the in the last paper class also we have discussed about the factors. So by which numbers we can divide this 32 without remainder. So otherwise we have to write this 32 as a product of two numbers. Here 32 we can write as 1 into 32 and 2 into 16 and 4 into 8. Right? So 1 into 32, 2 into 16, 4 into 8. So here I have written this 32 as a product of two numbers. Then these 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 are the factors of 32. That means we can divide this 32 by 1, 2, 4, 8, 16 and 32. Okay, right. Then question number 16. Express 2.08 kilogram in gram. So now you have to express this 2.08 kilogram in gram. So we know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram, right? 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram. So here 2.08 kilogram. Here if 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram, if you want to convert 5 kilogram into gram, then we have to multiply by 1000. Then we can get an answer as 5000 gram. Here this is 2.08. So we have to, if you want to convert kilogram into gram, then we have to multiply by 1000 because in 1 kilogram there are 1000 grams. So 2.08 times 1000. Here there are 3 zeros. When we are multiplying by 1000, we have to move this decimal point by 3 digits. 1, 2, here we can add a 0, then 2080 gram. Then 2.08 kilogram is equal to 2080 gram. Then question number 17. How many pens each will receive if 714 pens divide among 17 students? Now we have to divide 714 pens among 17 students. So how many pens each student will receive? So we have to divide this 714 by 17, right? So in 7 there is no 17. Then in 71, then how many 17s are there? Here 4 times 17, 68, then balance 3. Then now we have to bring down this 4. In 34 there are 217, then 34 remainder 0. So each student will receive 42 pence because here there are 714 pence. We have to divide these pens among 17 students so that each student will receive 42 pence.